What's up everyone, OJ here. Welcome back to another video. Today we've got some awesome information for you guys, so let's go ahead and get right into it. And we're starting off with Astral Chain. So this game is still rolling along, got an 88 on Metacritic, went up a point. All of the stupid review bombing scores were wiped out, nuked off of the face of Metacritic. And now we've got some more good news because the game recently hit the #1 spot on the Nintendo Switch eShop charts. And on top of that, Hideki Kamiya mentioned that the game is selling pretty well from their standards. And on top of that, we actually even got a thank you message from Platinum Games on their official Twitter accounts in Japanese and in English saying, quote, "Thanks to all of you who helped make Astral Chain such a success. PG artist Hajime Kimura celebrates with this cheerful cast illustration." So let's go over everything that was said here. One, we've got a post on Twitter saying that, hey, the game was a success and thanking players. Two, we've got #1 on the eShop sales charts and games with the vouchers and everything, how the Switch is just like a portable type of system. Along with that, digital sales are up even more and more. Now, the game would have been #1 earlier if it wasn't for Sonic Super Beat or whatever that music game is. I actually purchased it too. That game was 89 cents. It was on sale for 89 cents, so it shot up all the way to #1. So Astral Chain is actually beating out games like Final Fantasy VIII Remastered, Minecraft, Spyro, Bastion, a lot of other games there too. So the fact that it was #1 for this period of time is actually pretty good. $59.99. Great to see Astral Chain doing well. Even if you look at it back when I reported, just like back when the game right around launch or right before launch, it was #1 on Amazon sales charts. So while this game isn't going to sell like a Mario or Zelda type of game, it's still going to be a lot better than what they did before. If you look at it, Nintendo and Platinum Games have been having success lately with their games. Bayonetta, the 1 and 2 that was reported or whatever onto Nintendo Switch, that actually sold really well. If you combine it with the Wii U, definitely over 1 million units for Bayonetta 2. And I think that Astral Chain is well on its way. Maybe like later down the line once it gets some price drops or whatever the case is, if it does get that. We'll have to wait and see. I think that more and more people are going to pick up the game as we go along here. Even like before Bayonetta 3 comes out, it could provide a boost to Astral Chain too, just because people want to play a Platinum Games style title. To me, this is all great. I love what Astral Chain is all about. I've been playing the game like crazy. I think I'm like 21, 22 hours in, been replaying chapters, been getting S+ rankings. Absolutely love the style. I mean, it's crazy and it has a little bit of a different tone than what you'd see from Bayonetta or from Nier or from the Wonderful 101 or Mad World or any of their other games, but it's uniquely distinct and it has one-of-a-kind combat in there. If you have not picked up Astral Chain, make sure you do so. Astral Chain is a phenomenal game that at first you're probably going to be like, what the heck is this? And you might have some trouble controlling the legions and playing, but once you master the control of the legions, once you master the gameplay, you start upgrading. Well, mastering the gameplay is tough, but once you start upgrading and getting the hang of things, there's nothing else on this planet like Astral Chain. I mean, you've played games like Bayonetta before, you've played games like Nier before, you've played games like Vanquish or some other types of titles, but this is truly a one-of-a-kind type of game that's really nothing else like it with the legions and everything. The only thing that I can kind of like relate it to is like the Wonderful 101 a little bit with transforming, but even then, you're not controlling both at the same time like you do in this game. So well-deserved earned spot. #1 on the Nintendo Switch eShop charts, well deserved when it comes to Platinum Games, showing off that art, which we did talk about in a OJ Live, but I wanted to discuss it a little bit more here. And are you guys going to be picking up? If you haven't picked it up yet, does this kind of convince you? Do you see people playing and talking about the game and want to pick it up? I highly suggest to do so. I think it's Platinum Games' best title, if not like their second best title after Bayonetta 2. I'm pretty sure though, by the time that I finish it, I'm going to like it more than Bayonetta 2. And then I'll kind of put like Nier maybe in that third or fourth spot. Bayonetta 2 and Astral Chain are the two top games, with Astral Chain really kind of edging it out in a lot of different areas that I do like. Bayonetta, I think, has a better camera though, for sure. The camera can be better in Bayonetta at times. And of course, it's easier to play, but Bayonetta still has like a lot of stuff in there. But overall, man, all great games. Who cares which one's better or not? All that matters is that there's amazing games from Platinum, and they're continuing to make games like Nier and Bayonetta and Astral Chain. All of those games are awesome, so go out there and play all of them because they are really good. So what are you guys' thoughts on this? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, and moving on to the next topic here, we have a brand new Nintendo Switch system update that adds a big key feature to the system with online play invites, alarm notifications. Well, the big system feature was online play invites, not so much alarm notifications, but there is some more stuff here. So usually when we get these updates, guys, it's pretty underwhelming, even when we go up to a whole point number, right? Like when we went from like 7 point whatever to 8.0, people were thinking, oh, what's going to be the big thing here? And it was really nothing but like icons or whatever the case is. But it seems like we didn't get any new profile icons this time, but we did get something that was pretty cool. Here is the stuff that was increased in this system functionality. So they added a search feature for the news channel. Channels can be searched using different filters or free text. They added a display QR code to check in to user settings, so that's pretty cool. You can display a QR code on screen to check in using your Nintendo account. Alarm notifications have been added to the system menu, so you can go to notifications. You can check or delete preset alarms. Alarms can be set up only within supported software to be added at a later time. So a controller firmware update may be required to use this feature. And just to let you guys know, there is an update as well for your Switch Joy-Cons and your controllers, so make sure you do go and update that. Now you can also configure touchscreen sensitivity, which is pretty cool here. You can select between standard and stylus sensitivity, optimized for stylus input, which I didn't think Nintendo would do something like that, but they did add that in there. They added an option to turn on or off the system button input, and that's for the Nintendo Switch Lite only. Now, when this setting is turned off, the system no longer receives input from the console buttons, with the exception of the capture and home buttons, and can only be operated from a wireless paired controller, which is sold separately, and that's to stop from misinputs and everything when it's portable mode only, right? So it makes sense there, especially if you're going to be playing the game, let's just say propped up or something, or you're using another controller. Makes sense that way. Now, the setting is on by default and can only be turned off if a compatible controller, which is sold separately, is wirelessly paired to the Nintendo Switch Lite console, and the setting will automatically turn back on when the console is restarted or after returning from sleep mode. And they also added, this is the big one here, the online play invites section to the user's page. So this is not within the actual game, but the user's page. Now, invites from friends to join online play in supported software will be displayed in this section. And what we're understanding here, or what it seems like, is that it's a lot of games that already have invite features. So a game like, for example, Paladins or Fortnite, and probably the upcoming Overwatch as well, those games already support invite systems, but now you can just do it through the user menu and not only through the game itself. So definitely a step in the right direction. However, there are still games like Splatoon 2 that don't support regular invites, and also Super Smash Bros. Ultimate that don't support regular invites that aren't supported by this right now. So they would have to get some type of update in order for it to work there. I'm hoping that they do, but even still the fact that they're doing this through the user menu, this is the first time that I think that Nintendo's ever done this. Now, they've had stuff to where you can go into the user menu and you can join in from a game when somebody has an open lobby, but like that's just like invading somebody's game. This one's an actual invite, so it makes sense there, and a notification will pop up on the other person's screen. I mean, this is something that Nintendo's just never done. They haven't had it before, but they finally have it through the user or OS level side. So let's hope it continues and Nintendo actually patches in this functionality for all their games to support this going forward. Definitely a baby step, but a good step in like the right direction for this, because this has been a long time coming for something. Invites from friends to join online play and supported software will be displayed in that section. Now, there's also one last thing, and you guys know this has to happen, but general system stability improvements to enhance the user's experience. System stability is always there, but this one actually has some good usage here, because it resolved an issue where some users couldn't start Fire Emblem Three Houses game and get an error message instead. And Fire Emblem Three Houses is like a Game of the Year candidate, and it's like my leading candidate for Game of the Year right now, along with Astral Chain. So that would be a big problem if you just got your shiny new Switch and you also got Fire Emblem Three Houses, then all of a sudden you try to start it up when you purchased the expansion pass and it's not working. Nintendo did a good job on getting that fixed ASAP. So I think that's a big deal right there. Good job on them getting that fixed right away. Not really sure what the issue was, but as you guys all know, as you increase features, as you add more stuff, as you add newer software that pushes the system in certain ways, you might have some issues that crop up that you got to fix with stability updates, as we've seen with the PlayStation 4 and with the Nintendo Switch and with the 3DS and with lots of other stuff. Well, a lot of it was like piracy and all that, but still, you got to make sure the system is stable and make sure the experience is smooth with all the different software coming out. So overall, I thought this was a really good update. It added something really nice. No profile picture icons, which was kind of like, what's going on there? No folders either. Also, that's kind of sucks. No folders as well. No themes too. So that also sucks too. But at the same time, we can see here that they're not done adding actually good or big features. So we could get that stuff in a future update at some point. Let's just hope that we do get some of that other stuff. Folders for sure need to come sometime. I mean, like, it would be great if Nintendo released those in the next update, but who knows when they're actually going to be coming, or if they're even going to do it at all at this point. So what are you guys' thoughts on the update 9.0? Have any of you guys tried out the online play invites or the alarm or any of the other stuff? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, now moving on to the last topic here, guys. I talked about this on my OJ live stream. Make sure you guys check it out. OJ live every single day, pretty much around 1 p.m. PT. That is around 4 p.m. Eastern time that we talk about stuff live. But I discussed this and I said that Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition is going to be Monolith Soft's best-selling game ever. And let me give you guys a few reasons why it's going to be their best-selling game ever. One, because Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was their best-selling game ever, and that was a sequel to a game that was on the Wii, which skipped pretty much the Wii U. So the Wii U, you could play it on your Wii U through the virtual console or whatever they had on there for Wii games. But a lot of people were going into this as their first Xenoblade game, and they had never played the original game in there. Now, when you release a big remake of one of the greatest RPGs of all time, one of the best rated RPGs of all time, and I think the best rated RPG on the Nintendo Wii, you're definitely going to have a potluck of gold right there. This is going to be a game that's going to get so many people playing, especially if you look at it from like the time period, right? Like 2017, when Xenoblade Chronicles 2 came out, look at the install base of the Switch. It was around 10 million or so, even dating into the following year, 17 million, whatever the case is. Now, by the time that Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition comes out, the Switch is going to be like at 40 something or 50 million or whatever the case is, right? We don't know when in 2020 it's coming out, but it's going to have a huge install base of people who played Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and are like, okay, I need to go back to the origin here. On top of that, there's so many people who actually think Xenoblade Chronicles 1 is the best game in this series out of Xenoblade Chronicles X, and Xenoblade Chronicles 2, that they're gonna go out there, pick up a Switch just for this game if they didn't already buy one for Xenoblade Chronicles 2. So the fact that we're getting this type of game, it's really gonna bring a lot of people in there. Now, a lot of people pirated the heck out of this game, and they also dolphined it up because it just looked kind of bad, I guess. I mean, it was great for a Wii title, and if you compare it to any of the other RPGs on the Wii in terms of size, there's no other game that even comes close to accomplishing what Xenoblade Chronicles did on the original Wii. And for what it did, it definitely looks good, but it was definitely rough around the edges because of the size of the game. Now we finally get an HD update to this that's going to be a remake, not even just an HD Dolphin port, because if you play the game on Dolphin, it actually looks pretty good on Dolphin, but now we're actually going to get redone textures, redone grass, redone stuff, and they're going to improve the game when it comes to gameplay so much. I can see this one easily with the improvements, with the graphics, with the style, the Monado, Shulk, and Smash Brothers. This is definitely going to be Monolith Soft's best-selling game ever, because people are going to want to go back and see the origins. You have the huge install base. There's just so many things going for this game when it comes to Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. So I'm excited to see what happens in the future for this franchise based off of this, and I think that this could be Monolith Soft's first ever base 2 to 3 million unit seller, maybe even more. We know that Xenoblade Chronicles 2, as of I think last year or early this year, was at like 1.7 million units sold worldwide. If you include Torn of the Golden Country, probably over 2 million, but those are two different games. I think this one's going to be their first one that gets above 2 million easy and then hits 3 million or more. So Monolith Soft is humming, man. I'm so happy for this studio, and I'm so happy from where they've came from pretty much being so small and having to be purchased by Nintendo to making Xenoblade Chronicles a million+ seller is amazing. amazing for them, and the fortunes have definitely turned for Takahashi and his crew, and I'm excited to see what other stuff that they add into Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, because I think that this is going to be the remake of 2020 for me, at least. So what are you guys' thoughts on everything that we discussed here, from Astral Chain sales to the new system update, and of course Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Alright guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Go and check out the links in the description below. We got Facebook and Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. Hit that like button if you did like this video. Let me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future, and subscribe to PlayerEssence for latest RPG, Japanese, and Nintendo gaming news. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace.